I spoke to Sunil Saigal, the top United Nations official in Sierra Leone, and I asked him about the scene on the ground and what kind of aid is most needed.
As a result of a very heavy rainfall during the night and the early hours of the morning leading into Monday, yesterday, there was a landslide, a mudslide caused in one of the hill areas in a suburban area called Regent near Freetown. And basically the mountainside collapsed and buried houses, homes of a community under these layers of mud. And there was very tragically loss of life and destruction of property. And at the same time, a number of areas around Freetown were flooded. One area partly as a result, sort of a downstream from the region area, partly as a result of the water coming from that area, but also other low-lying areas in Freetown were flooded. We know of material damage, but we are now assessing the situation in those areas with regard to casualties.
Talk to us about the rescue and recovery operation. What has been the response so far, and what more needs to be done?
As the mudslide occurred, and authorities were alerted, we were alerted as well in the early hours, and immediately, together with the national authorities, dispatched personnel to the site that could help initiate the search and rescue actions. And the search and rescue basically to find survivors and, of course, also to recover those who perished in the mudslide has been going on since yesterday. At the same time, of course, efforts are being made to care for the survivors, care for those who have lost property and otherwise been affected by the mudslide, which is, in terms of scale, perhaps the largest of the tragedies, but also the flooding in the rest of Freetown. The government has requested support of the international community, and we in the United Nations system, together with other international partners, are now working with the government to implement and continue the response which already started yesterday.
I know it is the rainy season, but this particular weather event seemed particularly disastrous. Is there any way to prevent another disaster to happen?
Well, we're working with the government to see how we can prevent, certainly in the same areas, anything to happen. We're working on risk analysis and looking at the areas to see what we can do to help other communities at danger. This is obviously a problem in an area that does experience these heavy rains on an annual basis. This is an annual occurrence, and flooding is something that does happen quite frequently, I would say, in Freetown, but also other parts of the country. It's only about 2 years ago that we had major rains in the country, and loss of life occurred as well. So we are looking with the authorities to see how we can prevent this kind of thing from happening in the future.